My name is Georg Nickenig. I'm a cardiologist from Germany. First of all, severe tricuspid regurgitation is associated with poor prognosis, and we know or we have an idea that if we treat properly tricuspid regurgitation, we improve outcome or at least quality of life. We have some measures to do that, for example, the Tricuspid or the Pascal device to reconstruct the valve, but in many cases, I should say, the valve disease is progressed so heavily, so we are not talking about severe, but about massive or torrential tricuspid regurgitation. And in these cases, reconstruction with a clip or Pascal is sometimes really frustrating because there's severe residual tricuspid regurgitation after procedure. And there, tricuspid valve replacement comes in because these valve replacement devices can also easily treat this very severe and massive and torrential TRs in most of the cases. So it is a study, it's a single-arm prospective study, and it vigorously controlled though, and it recruited 150 patients, and a follow-up of 5 years is planned, and patients with severe symptomatic tricuspid regurgitation are being recruited and put into the study. And the Cardiovalve device is a very, very special device because it comes as a device in the mitral and also in the tricuspid space. It has a very minimal protrusion in the ventricle, so obstruction of the LVOT in the mitral space is not a problem, and has a very firm anchoring system, which is important for the tricuspid space. It does not rely on radial forces. So the premise would be that pacemaker rate is not so high, and it comes also in large sizes. So the patients we just talked about with this very severe torrential tricuspid regurgitation can, in most of the cases, also be treated with a Cardiovalve device, and it's pretty easy to implant. So the key inclusion criteria is that the patient had to be symptomatic, so with heart failure symptoms. And most of the patients were in New York Heart 3 and 4, 2/3 of the patients, and they had to have a severe to torrential tricuspid regurgitation. And exclusion criteria are the usual suspects, so they shouldn't have severe left heart disease to be treated, or ongoing inflammatory diseases, or severe pulmonary hypertension. And the objective was to look at safety on one hand, and then on the efficacy to treat tricuspid regurgitation on the other hand, with a device in this very patient group. The outcomes are very encouraging. Admittedly, it's a single-arm study. It's not a randomized trial yet, but tricuspid regurgitation was in more than 90% of the patients reduced to mild or less, to zero, so to say. And it was followed by a nice improvement in clinical performance. Patients could go longer, 6-minute walking test was increased. Heart failure symptoms were greatly and highly significantly reduced as judged by the patient. And that's also judged independently of this by the study doctors. And then the safety was also very acceptable. There was a device change. After the first 50 patients, a second-generation device has been used. And that was a totally percutaneous approach device, so to say. And that reduced greatly the exercise complications and also mortality rates. As I mentioned, tricuspid regurgitation was heavily reduced in more than 90% of the patient, and that was associated with a nice and significant increase in 6-minute walking test by almost 50 meters, if I recall correctly. And it was also followed by an increase in the KCCQ score by 17 points over the follow-up, which is quite significantly. I mean, the first challenge is to implant the valve and have not a PVL, so a paravalvular leakage. That was not the case in the target trial. Only in a very few patients we had some insignificant paravalvular leakage. So this mission has been achieved, so to say. In the long-term run, we need more follow-up data. That is true for the Cardiovalve device, but also for other devices. Thinking about thrombosis, thinking about bleeding if the patient is on anticoagulation, long-term durability of the valves, exceeding 5 years follow-up. But this is true for all replacement devices that we have to gather some more experience. As I said, the first choice therapy is reconstructing the valve with a clip device or a Pascal device or a Dragonfly device. That's the third one, which is commercially available. And in many of the patients, the tricuspid regurgitation is too severe, too massive, too torrential, and there we need additional options. And the Cardiovalve device is one of the options we have now available. I know that the application for CE mark has been filed in, so hopefully we will have it available very soon. First of all, you always have to treat more patients to get more data, more safety data and more efficacy data, more data on the clinical performance, and therefore target 2 will be performed, and we are recruiting already for the study as we speak. Test just started, and another 150 patients will be recruited. And at the end of the day, a randomized study against medical treatment or the established treatment would be, of course, desirable to find out whether we really can alter long-term outcome in this patient group.